The Leadership Institute of the Business School of Credit Suisse presents Management in a Nutshell. Today, coaching, or how to get your staff on the right track. This is a happy day in Spring Valley. Helena is back from maternity leave. Before her break, Helena was an excellent customer consultant. Even during her break, she kept herself professionally up to speed, and Paul is delighted to have her back. But it's soon apparent that Helena has some unfamiliar problems. She's not as compelling with her customers as she used to be, often feeling insecure and self-conscious. As she's very self-critical, she brings up the problem herself and talks about it to Paul, in whom she has great trust. Paul realizes that his employee is somewhat out of practice and thinks about how he can help her. He offers to personally coach Helena, and she gratefully accepts. Paul gets started and bombards her for 3 long sessions with tips and tricks on successful client communication. But to no avail. Helena is even more insecure than before. What went wrong? Coaching does not mean feeding someone good advice, nor is coaching a form of therapy. Much more than that, it encourages the coachee to find the solutions to their own problems. By the end of the process, the coachee has their work independently under control, and the coach has made himself redundant. Coaching is thus not a one-off intervention, but a process. To put it graphically, it doesn't work the switches, it lays the tracks, and involves the application of professional negotiating techniques, like the T-GROW model. The first thing to be explained is the topic. What is it exactly? Then the ideal results of the coaching are determined, and how the coachee explicitly recognizes that the goal has been achieved. The next step entails a realistic assessment of the situation. Who is involved? What is the coachee's role in the problem? And what steps have already been taken to solve it? The next step is to identify possible courses of action. How can the coachee influence the course of events? What resources do they have at their disposal? The final stage is to determine how things move on from that point. That means what specific steps are to be taken and when. This sequence can vary from case to case. The main thing is, at the end, the train starts moving under its own steam. Paul recognizes that professional coaching also entails using the appropriate instruments and techniques. He gets tips from an experienced coach at the Leadership Institute and resumes coaching Helena. And for the future, he resolves to apply for a coaching seminar to get some further training in this area. Only a few weeks later, his continual support of Helena is already bearing fruit. With the help of her coach, she has discovered just why her communication talent suffered and has managed to rebuild this talent. Now she enters into every customer discussion with zest and complete motivation. And as the sun sets over the Spring Valley Bank, her boss has also managed to learn a thing or two. That was Management in a Nutshell, presented by the Leadership Institute of the Business School of Credit Suisse.